Wow. Episode 64. Welcome, guys, to another episode of Stuck in a Truck. It is 64 weeks and counting. It is an amazing feat to get going and keep going in this process. And I really have to say that it is an amazing journey to be sharing with so many different people. Last week, we had a special guest all the way from Israel live on our show, which I thought was fantastic and an amazing feat that a show started essentially with me sitting in my truck in traffic, venting, talking, and trying to motivate myself. But more importantly is to leave tidbits of information to my children and family for the years that come when I'm not around. And it's an amazing thing to think about that, here we are 64 weeks later. And, it started with me sitting in traffic. And it's, Thanksgiving is tomorrow. So it's really exciting to think about because it's a great holiday. It's a fantastic holiday, especially when if you take the moment to dig in and see where Thanksgiving really comes from. I mean, I remember as a kid learning about Thanksgiving with the Pilgrims and the Native Americans and all of this kind of stuff and how that's even been misconstrued into so many different stories. So I dug a little bit into the history of this holiday, and it's an amazing thing to think about is that this holiday actually came about by Abraham Lincoln. Now, I'm not going to give the whole details of the thing. I would highly suggest taking a moment tomorrow or tonight and looking it up because this holiday was actually made into a national holiday to create unity within the United States after the Civil War. So when you really think about the timeline and the time frame, I think it's a pretty amazing thing to think about what this holiday really is about. And it's about giving thanks. It's about creating unity, and it's about bringing everybody together. When this holiday was sort of made into a national thing, our country was completely divided. It was separated and had a bunch of problems, as you can guess if you remember anything of the Civil War. And this holiday was brought together to create unity, to bring us all back to one nation. So I think it's pretty neat to bring that up as we are going into the Thanksgiving holiday tomorrow. And obviously we are divided. We have COVID restrictions. We are shut down. Some states are not allowed to conjugate. Some are. Some people are allowed to communicate. Some people are not allowed to communicate. We're trying to stay safe. We're wearing masks. We're doing all these things that create a lot of stress and anxiety. And one of the things that we have to remember is that it's always about bringing everybody together, not separating people. We're always strong in numbers. We're strong being together. We're strong in facing our fears when you have support. I mean, how much harder it is to take on a journey, to take on a task, take on an obstacle when nobody's cheering for you, when no one's there to support you. And that's really what it comes down to. Is I really want to take today's episode to talk to you guys about what it's like and what you need to do during this holiday season. And that is simply giving thanks. It's about being grateful, and it's about looking around you and seeing just because people are at a distance, it doesn't mean they're not there with you. And you really want to look at those things. How many ups and downs you had this year? How many pluses and minuses? Don't fall victim to the media. Don't fall victim to the Facebooks. Don't fall victim to it. But really take the next day or two and break down what this year has really been, what last year really has been, what the year before that has been, and then what you're going to do next year in 2021. Are you going to take on any challenges? Are you going to build a team around you and build them together to join in the victories of success? What are your plans for the next year? This is that holiday that it's not just about getting together and eating turkey, but it's about getting together to celebrate your wins, figure out your losses, and plan your next steps of the journey. I love this holiday. This is when we send out our cards to give thanks to everybody throughout the year. If you're a Blue Line Canine client, you probably would have gotten a gift for this. You would have gotten your card. These are big things that we send out during the season, because to me, this is the season that you need to be grateful. This is really where it's all about. I tell people all the time that the journey I'm on would not even be a journey if it wasn't for all the people on it. Every bit of success for Blue Line Canine, every bit of success in my personal life, it has to do with the team around it. My wife, my kids, my managers, my trainers, my staffing. They are phenomenal people, and without them, nothing could occur. In 2007, I walked into a government building and started this business, and here we are, 2020, with a phenomenal team, phenomenal clients, phenomenal dogs. You just couldn't ask for better people to come into my life and join this journey. And that's really something that I have to say, that with tomorrow being Thanksgiving, I just can't say thank you enough. For every side, every downside I've ever had, there has always been somebody there to help me through it, to coach me along, to cheer me on. And I know those same people have been in your life as well. And I just want you to know that it's one of those things that you have to pay attention to, because what we tend to do is pay attention to the booers, to the haters, to the people that knock us down, to the people that poop on us, the people that really bring us down. And it's not what it's about. You really need to pick and choose the people that are around you, because every day there's somebody that's positive and somebody negative. And a lot of times we fall victim to our families, because we think that they're family, so we're not supposed to cut them out. We're not supposed to eliminate them. We're not supposed to keep them at a distance, or vice versa with friends, where we try to make the people that are booing and hating and stuff like that and make them into our big passionate fans. Well, here's the thing. You might be born into your family, but your family doesn't always support you. Take a time and look around to see who the people are that are supporting you to your successes, and spend more time with them. Eliminate the people and eliminate the time and effort that is of the people that are knocking you down and putting you in a negative place. Even last night, my mom came and she was talking to me last evening, and she was telling me how she was in shock that she was in shock about the World Wide Web, how we're all connected through the World Wide Web. So I asked her a simple question. I said, are you more, and this is because last week we had a gentleman on from Israel on the show. And I said to her, are you more impressed with the World Wide Web, or are you more impressed with the fact that somebody from Israel was talking to your son online about his show? And she said it was more about the fact that somebody was on my show from Israel, which I think is a phenomenal thing to think about right there, is that when we think about how far we can come and how far we can go as ourselves, and not realizing that the people around us are watching, cheering for us, and then being impressed. And that's one of those things where I want to say that, we have to just take that moment and be appreciative. I mean, it really meant a lot from me to hear that from my mom, because, you always try to impress your parents. You really want your parents' approval. And as many different things as we done, and my family is a solar family, we're very, very, very competitive when it comes to everything. I mean, if you ride a bike, I can ride a bike better. If you ride a scooter, I can try to ride a scooter better. If you play basketball, I can play basketball better. Like, it's literally how we were raised. So it is neat to have my mom tell me that, and I think that was pretty cool. So, when we think about the little things that, to me, talking to somebody from Israel wasn't really that impressive, but to my mom it was. So again, it's neat. What I found to be impressive was the story. And if you guys missed last week's episode, you really should check it out. The guest on there was absolutely phenomenal. We talk about building your own podcast, becoming successful in those manners, the step-by-step process in it. He did a phenomenal job explaining it, telling you where to go, how to do it. So you can check that out at blk9tv.com. Or my iTunes, Stuck in a Truck. So you can definitely check that out. It's a really, really, really good episode. But today, as I said, I think today is about being grateful, stepping forward, deciding who you're going to spend more time in the new year. As 2021 is coming around the corner, this is one of those times where you have to really sit there and go, who do you want to spend more time with? Who do you want to have around you? Where do you find yourself feeling the most successful? And, I found this quote that I thought was really neat. The downside is I don't know who said it, so I can't give them credit. But when I did come across this, I was just like, wow, this is definitely something that needs to be said on this episode, which is the loudest boos will always come from the cheapest seats. People who invest the least in you will always have the most to say about you. Trust your work and keep the circle tight. And I really think that message is so important today, because, every day I wake up, I try to move Blue Line Canine forward into a new direction and offering more to our clients. And, we know there's people that don't like us, not because we did something, but just because they're competition. So we know that there's booers, there's the negative, as this quote says, the loudest boos come from the cheapest seats, which are the people that are not investing. It's the people that don't believe in you. It's the, so when we think about everything that we're looking for in success, every time we take that step of journeying and moving forward and taking on what we're going to face, do we want to apply for that management position? Are we looking to take the next promotional test? Do we want to go for the new job? And one of the funniest things that we always find is that we have a lot of naysayers in our lives and we give them too much credit. A lot of those naysayers, they invest little to nothing in you. And literally, I mean, little to nothing in you. They don't really care if you're successful. They have no time or money invested in you. They don't really benefit if you are successful, but because of their own fears, they're going to tell you not to do something. They're going to tell you not to go for it. And that's when you really have to start sitting there going, yeah, they might be related to you. They might be your family. But do you really want them to be the encouragement? Do you really want them to be right there? Because we have to put our foot down and really sit there and say that we choose what's around us. We choose those influencers. And who would you really rather choose to have behind you as you face this journey? 2021 is going to be an exciting time. We're going to be able to start new adventures, new career paths, new things. And you definitely want to surround yourself starting today with those people that are going to push you in that direction of success. Because here's the thing. I'm on episode 64, Stuck in a Truck. We've had guests on the show. We are going to continue to have guests on the show. And we literally had a gentleman from Israel on the show. And it's because of the moments like my mom telling me that she was proud. It's the people around me telling me that they're happy for me. It's the messages of telling me that these messages that I'm giving is getting them over their humps, is doing those things, is what's motivating me to continue coming up with this stuff. It's motivating me to find the information to share with you and spread the word of motivation and getting the next thing. It's you guys that are telling me to be grateful and thankful, because without you guys, nothing happens. So I think if you could take something from today's episode, it would definitely have to be along the lines that you have more power than you can possibly imagine with your choices. And as long as you accept your choices and accept the consequences for your choices, all you do is create more choices. I mean, here's the thing. One of my favorite parts of my life and journey has literally been, this is going to sound really weird, but it has been failing. Because failing lets me know I'm on the pathway to success. Every time things get rough, every time things get hard, I just get more excited because it's letting me know I'm on the right path. It's letting me know there's something good on the other side. Last night I was interviewed. So after Dog Talk last night, in case you missed Dog Talk, we made some pumpkin dog treats for your dog for tomorrow for Thanksgiving. So we have all the ingredients on the show. Again, you can check it out. At Dog Talk at BLK9MD on Facebook, or you can check out BLK9 TV. It'll be up later today. It's a great little episode teaching you how to make some dog biscuits for the Thanksgiving so your dogs don't miss out on the holiday festivities. But where I was saying was, after Dog Talk, I had the opportunity to go on a show. I was interviewed on Shelly Mack's show on NBC. This is it was live last night at 8 p.m. or 5 p.m. on West Coast where it's filmed. And it was a pretty neat experience. And we actually got to talk about, the show is about facing adversity and coming through. So I got to tell a little story about this year, 2020, and how it sort of started off really weird and awkward. It started off with, normal year, business is going normal, everything is what it is. And then the country shut down. And when the country shut down, we were an in-home dog training company. As far as we were concerned, we were going out of business because obviously when you can't go to people's homes, you can't work with people directly, you couldn't do those things. We were done. The business it was no which way. And I remember waking up, putting my boots on, and literally turning around and saying that to my wife that I'll see you when I figure this out. And Sure as hell, the best team I could have ever asked for came together. Blue Line Canine team, just it came together better than you couldn't imagine. Everybody threw their ideas in the pot. We figured it out. We started Dog Owning University. We were able to team up with Jeff in Raleigh, North Carolina. We were able to expand. We were able to offer bigger, better programs to our clients. And I'm telling you, like the most amazing part about the entire thing was the fact that not only were we able to rejuvenate the business, but more importantly, we were able to make it better for our clients in this time frame. And it was because of the fact that I surrounded myself with like-minded people that want the same goals. We want to create a Dogtopia for you, your dog, for everybody to have a good educational experience, to have a strong bond and relationship with their dog. And because of the fact that we have amazing people that continue to join the Blue Line Canine team and give to our clients, we're always constantly working together to offer more and build and build and build. And I tell you this stuff not only because I'm proud of this and I'm proud of everybody around me, but because of the fact that I know you have the capabilities of doing it all too. And I'm sure you've had those moments just like I have where you're sick, you don't feel well, and you're just down and out, and you're thinking in your mind of how you just want to give it up, or you just wish things were better, or that kind of stuff. And then you have to turn around and simply motivate yourself to get out of it. I'm telling you, you have this ability. Don't fall victim to the naysayers. Don't fall victim to the booers. They're the ones paying for the cheap seats, not the ones that are really caring about the show. You know, this is your show. This is your opportunity. You have what it takes to get out of the way, build your team, become successful in everything you want to do. It's an amazing feat when you know what you want and you start going on that journey. There are plenty of people that want to join you on that journey. Start sharing. Start a podcast in 2021, just like I did. Start a Facebook Live show. Do something that's going to make you happy. If you don't want to do those things, don't do it, obviously, but start choosing the right crowd to be around, because you'd be amazed to know that no matter what hits you, government restrictions, the COVID fears, illnesses and injuries, when you surround yourself with the right people that are on the same game plan as you, that are trying to achieve the same goals as you, not only does life become so amazingly awesome, but the journey itself becomes such a fun adventure that you won't even feel the stresses of the failures and those points. So I want to end the show with just simply saying to you guys, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. It's an amazing journey. I can't wait to start 2021 with all of you. And we'll see you next week. Enjoy your Thanksgiving.